Freak is standing by with the mid laner from Cloud9 Challenger.
Thank you very much. Great cast on the evening. I am here with the victorious High of Cloud9. Tell me about this all 5 games, incredibly tense series. Were you expecting it to go to all 5 like this?
Yeah, watching them play, they've always played really well. And when we scrimmed versus them, they kind of went like this. They generally won more scrims than we did, I think, though. But I knew by far they're probably one of the better teams in the Challenger Series. And even the LCS, I believe that they can qualify for it as well. They're like really good. And I don't think the teams in LCS should underestimate them.
I definitely agree with that one. So talk to me about your victory here. You're holding this trophy. You get a Challenger trophy here. Talk to me about what this actually meant for you, because you've won, NALCS several times. You've gone to Worlds and everything.
Right. Well, this is actually one of our first trophies from League. I think we've won a couple splits, made it to Worlds 3 times, but I don't have a trophy until now. And it's pretty cool. So I'm pretty stoked about winning, and it helps a lot because now we only have to play one best of 5. If we win that, we get in at least. So that's pretty exciting for us.
Yeah, definitely. So talk to me about then the road into the LCS. I've heard different things about C9C's goal to like breed talent. Are you just gonna like sell the spot? Like what's sort of the future for the 5 players on C9C?
Right. Well, I think different people want to do different things. Like for me, I like playing, but my wrists are getting kind of bad again, so I don't think I can keep up with it, It's a lot of practice and it's not something I can keep up with. For the other players, I think they're still pretty hungry for the LCS, and obviously we have to solid spot. You can't have 2 C9 teams in the LCS, so that's nothing we can do about that. And I would say this challenger split has gone pretty well for us. We got like 4 or 5 people jobs in the esports scene now. We hired a coach, a couple analysts. We have like 3 different subs. And I'd say it went pretty well.
So we're going to see maybe Balls Elimination not on C9 next year in the LCS.
I have no idea. That's up to them, but it's a definite possibility. I think they still want to play, so.
Well, thanks for the answer on that one. So then, yeah, moving forward, the chances in the promotion tournament. Actually, sorry, I'm actually going to keep on the players because there's the 2 new guys in your team. Altec, of course, is a veteran of the LCS, and Contracts here, very new, actually. He wasn't even LCS eligible for most of this split. So talk to me about your experiences working with these new players in this Challenger program.
I'm pleasantly surprised by Contracts, actually. His attitude's really good. He hasn't ever raged once or anything like that, and he's just been steadily improving. And I have pretty big hopes for him to be a really good jungler in the future. And I've never played with Johnny on a professional team, but I think we go back to like MLG Anaheim of like 2012 or something like that, where I used to play versus him all the time. And it's pretty cool to see how he's developed as a player. I've known him since he was like 14, and now he's only 19, but still, like, it's been a while since I've known him, and he's getting a lot better.
That's cool. It's great to hear that these players are doing very well. Final question for you. You've, as you say, you're maybe not able to keep playing as hard as you were before, and you're kind of sitting on the outside a little bit now. Sort of what is it like watching the LCS from the outside, seeing the North American scene develop, one that you had dominated in the past, and now that it's getting better and better? What do you feel about North America in League of Legends?
I do not watch LCS. I don't watch ELCS. I don't watch any streams. I don't enjoy watching the streams. I'd much rather play the game myself. And I know teams are getting better, so that's a good thing. I would say the only thing I'm salty about is like, I think 2013, 2014, the finals of LCS, they're like at PAX every year, and now you're seeing them at like big stadiums like in New York and stuff like that. And like it's inevitable, but it kind of sucks that my time when we were at the top, we didn't get to go to those cool venues, but I'm happy for the new people that get to go there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and of course, the scene gets better every time, and unfortunately, you didn't get to line up with the sick venues. But hi, thank you very much for the interview. Congratulations on the hard-fought victory. The trophy is here. Let's toss it to the analysts. That's yours.
Thank you very much, Freak. Always wonderful to hear from High, veteran of the LCS, no stranger to interviews himself. But Cloud9 Challenger reigns victorious here in our Summer Challenger Series, 3-2 over Team Liquid Academy. If we break down this game first, unfortunately, there's not a ton to break down, in all honesty, right? I mean, it gets to a point where if you don't pick a champion in Champion Select, the game gets very hard to play.
Yeah, I was looking at my notes. Okay, what's the next draft going to look like? And then
Rammus support was not in our notes. I'll tell you that much.
The notes is out the window because that made absolutely no sense. And it's really unfortunate for TLA.
It very much is.
Maybe nerves, whatever it was. Luckily for them, as a strong team, they do get one more chance to actually make it in, so it's not the end-all be-all. But boy, that really sucks.
You went the distance.
morale,
That's the thing.
the
You went the
morale.
distance, and then to lose the game on that is definitely not the way you want it to happen. And in all honesty, probably not the way that Cloud9 wants to win. Of course, they do take care of business in this situation.
Winning is winning.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Again, they're not going to be sad that they won Challenger Series. That's not at all what I'm implying. But it definitely wasn't the most competitive of the 5 games, which is a bit unfortunate. You know, and a lot of that was due to the fact that now your bot lane is a losing lane. You've got Nami Tristan against Ezreal Rammus. There's no way you can stack up against that. You've got a lane swap, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, so luckily enough, while we would have thought that the lane swap would have been the ideal scenario when that happens, which as always is, particularly with the recent Teemos around the world, the Rammus held his own. They actually didn't lose lane, but the problem is that it's just a lane that has 0 pressure whatsoever. Right. You're stuck at turret the entire time. You do absolutely nothing, and then it becomes so easy for Cloud9 to make moves around the map. You can just gank top as much as you want. Mid lane, we saw High being able to win that matchup. Rexa can just pay tons of visits there, and it just limits the options and makes the game plan for Cloud9 just so simple. And that's really where the pick lies and the weaknesses behind this, as opposed to hey, you swap. So now you actually have a Rammus.
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult to ever defend support Rammus. But I do agree with you that within that, like, as long as we accept the game state, Cloud9's job was just made easier, as you mentioned, because of the way the pressure game works. Now my Rek'Sai doesn't have to worry so much about that bottom lane. I can focus more of my attention to the mid lane, or not letting my Shen get abused by the Gnar in the top lane. My GP, rather, sorry. My GP.
Remember Pirate.
I'm not going to let my GP get abused in the top lane by this range matchup in the Gnar. That gets him through his kind of weakish early game, whatever. And then LeBlanc snowballing over that Azir like we've seen him do before. He becomes unstoppable. I mean, not to necessarily scoff at Team Liquid's base defenses. Piglet was playing out of his mind until the very end of the game. But you know, 9-0-1 at one point on that Ezreal. He was definitely working his butt off trying to get this team into that first place slot.
Yeah, you know, a lot to heart shown, not willing to just go down without a fight, and that's always refreshing to see. While the game might stall out and might be like, okay, when does Cloud9 put a stop to all this? But at least the fact that Piglet just kept going at it and being so relentless is always refreshing to see, especially even if you're Cloud9, you got to respect a player that is in a losing position and is able to just put up such a fight.
All right, well, with their win, Cloud9 Challenger have not only claimed the championship title, but they also claimed the #1 seed from the Challenger Series in the upcoming spring promotion tournament. Now, as you see here, they'll be playing the 9th place LCS finisher. Winner of that match goes straight into the LCS, so that's what they've got. They bought themselves that match, whereas Team Liquid Academy is going to have to play the 10th place team as well as the 9th place team in best of 5s in order to qualify. So a much tougher road from them in that regard. But they can still do it, right? It is still in their own hands. As long as they win their best of 5s, they make it.
It is a good way of seeing as hey, more preparation for the LCS, so we'll be nice and ready for it. But the problem and the difficulty with that matchup is that even if you win that game, you're going to be putting everything on the line.
Yes.
And that means that the LCS team that you're going to be facing can just prepare pretty much everything against what you're going to be showing. And it just becomes that much easier. And while the discrepancies between LCS and NACS might not seem that big, in reality, every time that they clash is actually more often than not that we see the LCS teams, while they might be weaker, they just have so much more knowledge and experience than the NACS teams that they're able to really pull it through right at the end.
Now, that said, Cloud9 Challenger has 4 former LCS players on it.
So does TLA, maybe 5 actually.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's what I was going to say. If anything, you then go over to TLA, and it's not much different of a picture. So that is at least something that maybe they can fall back on when it comes to the promotion tournament. And then, of course, I wanted to kind of point and nod towards High's interview, in which he said that LCS teams should not be underestimating this Team Liquid roster. So he's giving them.
Well, he said he didn't even watch it. Does he even know what teams?
No, but he has experience against Team Liquid Academy, and he has some sense himself of the relative power level of LCS teams, seeing as how he's been to Worlds, right? I think that's what he's basing it on, not his lack of watching the North American Summer Split. But I wanted to then kind of extend a similar question to you. How exactly do you think maybe these two teams might stack up against the likes of our bottom 3 in Echo Fox, Energy, Phoenix One as of right now in the LCS?
To be honest, I don't think they stack too well because it's just they're so snowbally. These games just have no way to say, oh, the mid game was even. It's just one-sided stomps. It looked like some sort of dance or just stomp, 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 and then over. Like, that's not how these games should be played. If you look at LCS games, unless you're at the really top echelons of against the really lower teams, the stomps just aren't there. You need to be able to control the pace to a mid-game where if you're losing, you can stall it out. If you're winning, you calculatedly take the advantage as opposed to just going relentless aggression and just throwing the game and stalling it out. So my biggest concern would be the mid-game for these teams, mid and late game, in which you just cannot play so aggressively. It's reminiscent of TL in the LCS themselves, where they just keep bashing forward and forward, and if you're behind, it's over.
Relying on, or rather counting on, getting ahead in the early game is not necessarily a foolproof strategy.
So if they really are able to minimize damage that happens to them towards the early game, which will happen when you play against the LCS teams, then I think that they'll have a much better chance. And luckily, they have a lot of time to prepare for that, and it's not the toughest of fixes.
Exactly. They still have some time to watch all the LCS teams complete their regular season and prepare for these matches. So we'll see. We'll see how they work out. Now, within this series itself, we have to acknowledge Hai, who had a huge impact today and claims our Player of the Series honors. Now, Hai was an integral part of Cloud9's success in this series, claiming the highest KD on his team at 5.6 and averaging 39% of the team's damage across all 5 games. That's actually an extraordinarily high number across 5 games. Well, in terms of damage share for a team.
Yeah, I mean, always in the purple champions. If you don't know what to pick, go with the purple champion. Guarantee you it always works. He plays the Kennen as well, purple. There's really the Cassidy. I'm not actually joking about.
Malzahar, Kennen, Rek'Sai. I mean, that's not a mid laner, but I'm just thinking all the purple champions.
LeBlanc, Cassidy, Lissandra. Like, there's a lot of broken purple champions around the game, but he did really well. You know, for somebody that thought would be unable to really hold his own as a retired player, coming back and kind of struggling with mechanics and champion pools, he really just completely showed up today. And I thought his mechanics on the LeBlanc were rather fun to watch. He was able to obtain multiple solo kills, just put a lot of pressure on the map. And unfortunately, that he mentioned that he wasn't able to continue playing because of injury, and that's really what happens for playing for so long.
Very happy to see him back on the stage, though, at least one last time. I'm not going to speak for him. Maybe we'll see him again, but I'm very happy to have seen a trophy in his hands, as he pointed out. He didn't have one yet.
I really like the glimpses where you get to hear the shot calling, because obviously the fame and meme shot calling, but always telling his team back, this guy right there, retreat, and just all that target selection, not just during the actual macro, but the micro during the team fights, as he's the only voice during a fight. And when you're playing in the team environment, it's really refreshing when you have just one guy making the call and everybody can just follow up on it, and the team fights become that much crisper.
Well, a Challenger Series championship added to the legacy of all of Cloud9 Challengers players. That's going to do it for us tonight, but tune in tomorrow for Week 8 of the European LCS. That kicks off with Fnatic versus Splice. At the same time, H2K will challenge Team Vitality. Catch the start of those series at 8 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central European. All right, that's it for our show. Once again, congratulations to Cloud9 Challenger on their win. Now for myself, the casters, the analysts, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and good night.
Piglet's the rose because he's a champion.
We're all just buds around him.
Yeah, we're all just little seedlings ready to be watered.
You don't become a rose until you become a world champion.
Golden Glue goes back in. Hai is solo. Health Teemo Plague burning down. He's caught off their trading.
Ooh.
And TLA drop 2, drop 3.
Kill Rumble, kill Rumble. Careful. Fight. Asanta, go. Yeah. Simmer.
He's trying to get away. Can he teleport out? They don't have any crowd control.
Lemon said beat him up.
Yeah, beat him up.
What's that? I mean, I think it worked.
Piglet secures the kill. They continue to chase forward, and Cloud9 are split on both sides.
I'm on front line.
Vlad's ahead of me. Vlad is ahead of me.
Careful, Vlad. Back up.
Hai is ignited. They're just burning down, and he gets charged upon by Team Liquid Academy. Here they go. The submarine with LeBlanc. There's the Emperor's Divide. And he gets brought back in.
We're good. Fight together. I'm on a zero.
Watch barrel.
Okay, we're fine. Kill. Gameplay. Nice.
Hai chasing down Moon for a kill of his own. The final inhibitor turret will fall. Piglet just does not have enough. Flash onto Piglet. He gets disappeared.
I'm on Juan.
Watch out for our flash. Watch out for our flash.
I exhausted
Kill
it.
Nar. Go Victor after. Go Victor after.
Victor.
Alltech dashes into his team, but that's a 3-man taunt for Team Liquid Academy.
I'm on Victor.
I have top flash in 2 seconds.
I'm on Victor.
Lucian flashed in. I got the bomb. Kill bomb.
Front stun is going to eat a lot of damage. Can't ball curl. Finally drops it, but he's already dead. A double kill. Golden Glue is gone. That's 2 Bear inhibitors with Baron buff. Golden Glue goes for the play onto Alltech and finds it with the rest of Team Liquid Academy. Piglet, though, goes in. He's looking for it. Gets the shutdown. 3 kills for Piglet. Oh my god, is he going to try to turn this around? He's chasing. He needs one more. He needs one more. An ace for Piglet. Boone at low health. Emperor's Divide knocks High back. He's still alive, however. Golden Glue not able to follow up. Elimination dropped the bubble and secured the game, secured the series, and secured the North American Challenger Series Finals.